So you can't look at me, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Andy
You
Blanks.
gotta start it.
Andy Blanks, Jake
Jake's the rookie.
Rasmussen, YM360, co-founder, publisher.
Marketing guru.
I wanted to make myself a co-founder, but I didn't know if Les would be upset about that. So, no, just marketing guy, marketing strategy, YM360. Andy Blanks just recently wrote, I don't know why I refer to you in your first and last name right now.
But some people are like that, though.
Yeah.
I have a friend I grew up with, and he's just Kelly Ball.
It's funny, like when I talk about you in the youth ministry world, I don't say Andy at the office. I say Andy Blanks, which is funny.
That is funny, especially since nobody knows me. But
well, at least I know your last name.
That's right.
Yeah, all right. So do you know what you want your youth ministry to accomplish?
Yeah, just wrote this as a blog article,
Yeah,
and we were going to flesh it out a little bit more.
Yeah, so just tell me, set the table for us.
So I started thinking about basically just this concept of how we achieve our goals, right? Like, how do we get from point A to point B? You use an interesting phrase, and it's kind of a philosophy that
You're stealing my thunder right now.
I'm setting you up. This is me setting you up.
At least you give me credit.
Where you envision, you start with the end in mind. What'd you say? You said revert.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
You like that?
It's I stole it from somebody else, but it's reverse
engineering, where you start with the end in mind. You have a goal, you have a vision. As a publisher, I do this all the time, right? You think, okay, this is what the book wants to look like. This is what we want it. This is what the hit date, right? This is when we want it in people's hands, and then you build a schedule back. The same is true in our youth ministries. Of course. The same is true when it comes to discipleship, events, anything we do in ministry. If we don't have that, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but when we, our actions are determined by that vision, right? By that definition.
And I thought that was the part that was like, that hit me really good, is your actions determine that, right?
Well, both. It actually kind of works both ways, right?
Yeah.
Like if yeah, because we talked about that. Because if you have that vision in mind, right, you have that end goal in mind, then it's easy to carve your plan out.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're a runner. I'm post-runner, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You run.
I'm
right?
not a really good example of what a runner looks like.
He is a runner. He just doesn't want to say it. I used to run. I definitely don't look like I run now. But anyway, if you want to run a marathon in March, hypothetically, right? Not like you're.
I'm running a marathon in March, buddy. Come on.
Well, what'd you do? What'd you do that Saturday before we did that? Like before you came in the office, what did you bring in? You brought something into the office. What was it?
Yeah, it's my plan. My plan for the next 12 weeks or whatever to get me there, right?
Because you'd be an idiot just to say, hey,
I'm just going to wing it.
That's how I did my first half marathon. My longest training run. It was 4 miles.
That's the exception, not the rule.
And we're like, okay, let's just go. Like I was an idiot.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk forward after that, right? So share a little bit about how that works in youth ministry, like in events.
Yeah, so I think events is a good one. But like I was thinking about discipleship. And this is actually really what started the blog post for me, is because most of us don't have a really clear definition of discipleship that we operate from. We don't. We kind of have this idea or this belief that we're supposed to be teaching teenagers the Bible. We're supposed to be modeling faith for them. And we've sort of been given the slots that we're going to use, right? You have Sunday mornings. You got to have some place for them to go before big church, right? Or Wednesday night or whatever. And so we're like, okay, I'll buy a curriculum or I'll teach this series. And that's kind of it. Like, that's kind of our plan. But to me, it's got to be more than that. Like, we have to really envision what we want. Like, what is your definition of a disciple? Have you ever done that as a team in your youth ministry? Have you ever sat down and said, at the end of 6 years or 7 years, this is what I want to see out of our students. And these are the traits I want to see. These are the skills I want to develop. Most people don't do that. The best youth pastors I know, they engage in that level of planning and defining. This is what we want. And then once you know what you want, you begin to go, okay, how do we accomplish this? If we want our teenagers to have a heart for service, a heart for missions, well, then they're going to go on 3 mission trips by the time they're out of our, something like that, right?
Man, the thing that you said that just got me, okay, so there's the best youth pastors and I'm putting words in your mouth, right? Like they're the churches that have 10,000 million members, right? Yeah. But that's the first thing that I think of. I think, okay, I'm just youth pastor here at church of 300. I have a youth ministry of 30. And there's no way I'm going to do that. Like, do you know how much I'm responsible for, Andy?
Yeah.
Versus, oh, well, so-and-so at like giant, huge church. Well, of course he can do it. He has a youth ministry staff of 10,000, right?
20 associates or whatever.
But I actually don't see that being true, and I don't think you do either.
No, I don't, definitely.
And so you said, I'm going to lead you here just because there was, like getting down to what do I want to see in my students when they have passed through my ministry?
It's an important question.
Yeah. And you said something, work in a team. So it's like, even if you don't have a church of 10,000, maybe you have a spouse. So maybe you have a husband that you can work with, or a wife you can work with, or your senior pastor.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, flesh that out.
Right, youth pastor in your listen, here's the deal. We are not, we don't ignore the challenges of small churches. And here's the secret. The overwhelming majority of churches in our country are small, medium-sized to small churches. The big churches get all the recognition, right, and all the spotlight. But it's most youth pastors are doing youth ministry in a context of about 30 kids, 20 to 30 kids, somewhere in there. There are other churches in your community that you should be partnering with. Maybe you don't have a team of 10 people. Maybe you don't have. Maybe you're not seminary trained. Most likely you're not, right? But when you pull those resources of a local youth ministry network, and you can sit around and kind of talk shop and say, okay, what do we want from our students, and how are you guys getting there? What are the things you're doing that you're accomplishing? So I don't think you have to have a robust church staff to be able to accomplish these things. At the end of the day, when it comes to discipleship, we want to see teenagers grow in their Christ-likeness, right? I mean, how do we want to accomplish that? How can you be intentional? I think one of the things that you and I were talking about, because you applied this to marketing, your role with YM360, but you could apply it to marriage and parenting, whatever, is if we don't set that definition, if we don't have that definition at the end, then we may kind of luck into accomplishing some of those things, but then we're inefficient. Or then a lot of our actions could be ineffective. We're not using our time wisely. We're not being stewards of, and I know for you, I know the life you lead, the life I lead with children and church and work. Like, I don't have time to be inefficient. What I mean? Like, my time is my most valuable commodity.
As I've gotten a little bit older, it's gotten much easier to say no. Right?
Oh, I know, absolutely.
So, I mean, obviously, there's a lot more in the blog post. So if you're listening to this on podcast or you're watching on video, I encourage you to go back to the website, right?
Definitely.
Check this post out. There is quite a bit in there. And the next time we do something like this, can we turn the air on?
My gosh,
I'm
it's
sweating.
hot. No, I'm
sweating. I just realized as you're talking, I'm like, it's going down. So check it out online. But if you had to leave, there's maybe you're going to hit a wonder. I want you to say this thing, and you might not, right? So I'm going on a risk.
Like the last two lines?
Maybe. No, it's close, though. But if you had to sum this up in like one sentence.
God, don't do that kind of stuff to me. I would say
we hit
we hit what we aim at, right? Like, if you don't aim at something, guess what? You're going to hit it. I mean, like,
every time.
Yeah, every time you're going to hit what you aim at every time. That's good.
Awesome.
I'm burning up.
Yeah, me too.
All
See you
right.
later.
See you guys later.